Hey, scrapbook friends, it's Nicole. Welcome to week 38 of Theme Park Thursday. And what I thought was going to be a fast, cool technique ended up taking me much, much longer than I had intended. I was going to show you this cool, speedy way to add a whole bunch of pictures to kind of a layout. I don't even know if I dare call it a layout because basically what I did is I used the pocket pages. These are the new Cascading Pocket Pages. And you can add these two in between your scrapbook layouts however you want. You don't have to use all four of these inside one layout. You could just use the one slide in pocket page or the 4x4 or whatever. But I had a huge stack of pictures for the Main Street Electrical Parade. This was like the highlight of our trip to Disneyland. I really wanted to put as many pictures in as I could. And then Creative Memories just came out with these Cascading Pocket Pages. So they are not the same, and I think I show you this actually a few times in the video, but they're not the same as this cascading waterfall page that we did using the spacers. This is one page that I had to assemble. These pieces come pre-manufactured from Creative Memories, and you can just, stagger them and get this cool effect. The reason that it took me so much longer than it should have is because these are designed for 4x6 photos, and my photos were all the digital size. They were the 4D, and I could have probably just left them, put them in here and left a little space, and any normal person would have been fine with that. And instead, what I basically ended up doing was a whole bunch of tiny little 4x6 and 6x4 layouts. But then I was able to cram in way more pictures too, which is what I wanted. So this is a longer video. It took me a lot longer to put this together than I expected once I realized that my pictures were the wrong size. I tried to just stick them on here and just have, a little mat around it. And then I decided that I didn't like that. So then I had to go back and add in some color and, but then I love it. So, I wouldn't do this for a whole lot of layouts in one album. A, because it took a lot of time, but B, because it does add a little bit of bulk. But I am so pleased with how it turned out that I'm really glad I did it for this one, and especially for this thing that I had special photos for. Maybe you've got wedding or family reunion or something, Christmas, that you want to put a whole bunch of photos but kind of keep it to one layout. This is what that would work for. So if you're ready, stay tuned. I knew going in that I wanted to use these pocket pages, but all the rest you'll have to just watch to see how it all came together. So here we go with this giant stack of photos, and I'm looking at them. Looks like one of them is a couple are true 4x6. Most of them are the 4D size, which is going to make this project a tiny bit harder. I have not gone through to see how many are horizontal and how many are vertical. I probably ought to do that and not make you watch. And I have one 5x7 that's going to go on my left-hand side, my main kind of focal point. Because what I know for sure I want to do is I want to try these new cascading pages. I did use the cascading spacers for this layout a few weeks ago before I went to Japan, so it feels like 100 years ago. And that's the tool that you use, the peekaboo pockets and stuff. But the cascading pages, now they call them pocket pages maybe, but they're cascading pages, and there's basically four types. So this is the multi-pocket page. I think they're calling it the 5-pocket page now. We have had this from Creative Memories for several years. If you watched my waterfall page that you fit 28 pictures on one layout, this is what I use for that. And I will try to remember to link that in the comments just in case, because I think it's really, really cool. So this is the multi-pocket page. You may have some of these already. And then they came out with so this is 5 photos, but really 10 because you get both sides. Then they came out with the 6-photo page, which is 3 6x4s and 3 4x4s. And then next we have the 4-pocket page, 4 vertical, and the 3-pocket page. But what happens, they all have the jeeped edge. And what happens is when you layer all of these together in your book, you don't have to measure anything. You don't have to do any you know, special positioning, whatever, but you're going to get that same effect of the pocket page. I'm going to put a piece of paper underneath just so you can see, because this well, we'll talk about the 5 pocket page in a minute, but just so you can kind of see the effect better of how it's going to be. The spacing looks pretty uniform. So you have your 5 pocket page on the bottom, then the 6, then the 4, then the 3, and it's going to give that same effect. So it's perfect for someone who has a stack of photos this big for something. I mean, and all of these, I mean, look how excited my daughters were watching for the parade. But here's Moana, here's me. There's one of Michelle I just saw as I was flipping through that really made me happy. Oh, this one. We were totally like geeking out. I am a little sorry that I didn't get these printed in 4x6. I had them printed in the 4D size, because it would have been, now I'm going to have to like do a little bit more work to make this work, but I don't care. I want to do it this way. I can put all of these pictures, and I don't really want to call it one layout because it's going to be all of these pages together, but we are going to make it work. So I do want to talk about the multi-pocket page or the 5 pocket page. And one of the reasons I haven't liked them very much is in order for them to have some horizontal and some vertical, they couldn't do 6 horizontal because you need the little gap between the pockets, and that would have made it too big. So they had to do it this way, and then they had to do these 2 spaces. I wish they would have put it all the way to the side and left this as a border. They did not. So every time I've used these, I have just cut with an X-Acto knife into the plastic here and here. You could also actually use your microchip scissors. I've used the edge of my microchip scissors, and I've put a piece of paper in there to fill it out. And I will do that again this time because I don't like the look of the clear. It drives me nuts. And especially when we're going to be trying to do this, I want to have something in there. So we're going to do that. But what I need to do first, before I can do any of that, is I need to figure out what I'm going to do for the left-hand page and what I'm going to do for the right-hand page right here. Am I going to have this also be Main Street Electrical Parade, or am I going to have this be the start of, I think the next pictures are a Small World show. So they had like a projection show, and I just did, and these are all horizontal, so that will make it a little harder. But we'll see how I do with the photos that I have. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video for a minute and sort these photos into horizontals and verticals, because mostly I'm going to need horizontals, 6, 8 verticals, another 6 horizontals, 6 4x4s, and these. And that will help me kind of figure out how I want to arrange these. So through the magic of video, I'll be right back and all of that will be done. I think what I'm going to do is, because these pictures, they're the wrong size, many of the images are small, is basically I'm going to create 6, at least 9 little photo mat mini layouts of a little collage. And I was thinking about this whole layout. I knew that I wanted to do this technique, and I think I want to use this anthracite shimmer cardstock. This is from a shimmer buffet a few years ago. I have several packs of it. It's not black. It's like a dark charcoal gray, but it's got the shimmer, and I just thought that would be really, really work well with all of these layout pictures. So if I picked out basically the ones I know that I want to use for the other layouts, these 2, but for this one and this one, I'm going to have just these little pieces, and I'm just going to make little canvases. So I need 6 of them, and I probably could do front and back on the same card. Maybe I ought to. I don't like to do that. I do have the new trimmer, but I left it at my studio. I've been having my packages delivered over there, and I had an event last weekend, and when it was over, I was just tired, and I came home, and I'm sorry, y'all, but I was too lazy to go back and get it. So I will have the new trimmer by next week's layout because it is awesome. All right, so here's my 4x6 little canvases. And so then what I can do is I can just kind of cut these pieces up. Now, if you had the right number of horizontal and vertical, you would not have to do this step and it would be way faster, but I don't. So like I've got this, all right, I'm gonna pause you guys again for a minute because I know that I have a bunch of this little snail guy, and I have several of the pirate ship and several of the little caterpillar, and I want to kind of keep those, you know, I want to pick the best one and not necessarily put every single picture of every pirate ship. So I'll be right back after I do that. All right, some more piles. This one is kind of all Cinderella and the little dancing mice. But I also have this picture of Michelle waving at one of the mice and sitting here with a mouse twirling. So I put those all together in one. I have one more of the train, and then I did get, I don't even know what this one is. I'm not going to use this one, I don't think, but I got this one of us waiting for the parade, but of it kind of coming up the street. And so I might want to put that back in that earlier section. I should have probably done this at the beginning. All of these are like the snails, and I don't know what part they go to, if they go along with before Alice. I can't tell by looking farther back here what they do. So all the kind of snails and bugs go together. This is all Peter Pan. I did get this one kind of good close-up of him, and oh, that Peter Pan's supposed to go there. Sorry, this is the 7 dwarves, but that goes with these, with the dwarves. So all of those go together. I have just a couple of Alice pictures, three different pictures, so that's kind of good, but the verticals. And then all of these are like they're like little baby princesses. I don't quite know like what the deal is with these guys. But Moana, baby Tiana, they're not baby, but they're like toddler age. I don't quite get it. I think that part's new, and that's maybe why I took so many pictures. And then this one is the Small World. I wonder if this, oh, this must be the end, because look, there's the little people holding the rope at the end of the parade. So this must be the last part of the parade. And then this is where we did all these selfies with the end of the parade. So that can be the last page. That could be fun. I just got to decide if I want it to be the back of that and then do a facing page to make it a double page spread, or what I want to do. Oh, Pete's Dragon. I love Pete's Dragon. I have a whole bunch of this. Elliot's always been one of my favorite things, but I mean, it's got the smoke coming out. Look at that. It's a great one. You can see Pete on there. A few of the Pinocchio. This is the mine train. These guys, Alice. All right, so so now I feel like that changes everything I did before. Well, except that I did want these to be, this is all kind of us waiting for the parade. All of these are waiting for, but then this is during the parade. So maybe I want the waiting for the parade. And then I could put like this one right there. It kind of doesn't go with these, which are already the beginning of the parade, but too bad. So those 4 on this side. And then on this side, we could do, again, this start of the parade. And then the pictures. All of us taking pictures of the parade. So that works okay for me. And then this one will be the little mini layouts. We're going to call them mini layouts, and I'm going to do, I mean, I could put another one of these 4x4 verticals in here if I wanted to. There's no reason you can't do multiple of one size or another if that works for you. I think I'll do the little bugs first. Because these were definitely far away. I have several of them, and I think I'll do. Whoa, I need to do 3, and then I need to do 3 squares. So I'm going to cut the 3 4x4 squares. So on the new trimmer, you may have heard, if you get my emails, I mentioned this, they made a mistake. So here on the trimmer, you can see they have bracketed off a 3x3 square, a 4x6, a 4.5x6.5, and a 5x7. I don't think I used them. I cut this at 4 inches. I know I've got to cut this at 4 inches. I'm using this measurement up at the top. The measurements on the new trimmer are awesome. But they put the brackets, except they put the 4x4 bracket down here at 4x5 and labeled it 4x4. So if you regularly use these brackets, that could be a problem, but I don't use them, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. I'm sure that they will do another production run. You know, this is a permanent trimmer, so as they do future production runs, they will correct that. But if that's something that's going to really matter to you, then you probably want to wait on the trimmer. I mean, I think they're going to have to come up with something, a decal or something, but I'm not going to put a decal. This one has a 4x4 trimmer. I'm more likely to use it on this because this is where I cut my pictures. But I think I'm just going to cut. Oh, I didn't decide which ones I want. I'm just going to cut this little guy. Just going to make some little mini pieces. See, this one is the same, but this picture is better. This one's a little bit bubbly or wobbly. It's hard to take pictures at night. And by doing this, I can fit more pictures, even more pictures in this layout. Kind of like this guy. This is the same guy. I could use him, but if I use a small one, I don't have to. Same with the bug, the little caterpillar. I kind of like the idea of being able to use all of them. And I can cut off this person's phone. Ha, ruining my photo. You know what I always say, how dare anyone else want to go to Disneyland when I'm there? All right, so there's that one. I like this kind of brownish one. I had that one already. The problem is we were all taking pictures, and so I have multiples of everything. These are probably both from my phone, but the lights change. I like that one better. Kind of like this close-up one of this guy. He could be my 4x4 and go over here. Oh, but then I've got this. Got Michelle looking at the bugs. I kind of like that caterpillar. Oh, looks like it is Alice coming up behind. Now I like this one better. I want this one in there. Maybe this one, but maybe not. I love that one of the two of them together. This one has the Alice stuff. So I think this whole layout side is going to be all the Alice. Oh, do I really want to do all the Alice? I kind of do. Am I going to need to do multiple pages of each of these? I'm not going to. I'm going to use the back side of the 5 and another extra layout, which I can do. I love that one. I love Michelle. She was so happy. We were crying, legit, both of us crying like little babies. Okay. So here's the Alice ones. I don't know that I need that one. I kind of want this guy. I was thinking about putting him here, but he's the same guy as here. So we'll put him right there. Can I cut this to 4x6? Yes. Actually, could I cut it to 3.5? Because then I can put it on on the 4x4 square and kind of give this same illusion of these, you know, the little mini layouts. I could maybe cut something smaller. Is there another? That one. Can I cut this one short to 4x6? Yes. And I can make this skinnier. Oh, could I do 3.5? Ugh. 3.5. I cut off her her shirt, which I really like. But we see it in other pictures, so I don't think I need to. And then I could cut this even a little narrower. Put this right there. I could put this right there. These two. So basically I'm making a whole bunch of little layouts that are gonna all go together. Oh, I have that other big one that I liked. Where did it go? I definitely want Alice. And she could, maybe I could do her as a 3 by 3.5 by 3.5. Oh yeah, perfect, perfect. 3.5 by 3.5. She could go right here too. And then this one with the, who are you? The caterpillar. Oh, I don't really want to cut off the bottom of his though. I guess I could keep him as a 4x4. He doesn't have to be. Cut off, and then I could do this caterpillar and maybe that. That's the same. These are the same pieces. Oh, this is the one of the two of them that I liked too, because it has Alex in it. But I like that one better. I'm not going to use it. Like, it won't hurt Alex's feelings if he's not in every single photo. I don't think. I should maybe ask him. And I probably could have measured these before I started just chomping away, but I'm not going to. I didn't. Oh, this one, I wanted this one too, though. That's that same little guy. Maybe. Okay. I wish I could put, like, alternate, stagger them. My brain wants to be like, no, don't have them be in a row, but you can't do that. Kind of like these. I could do this guy again, like right there, if I needed to. I mean, for some reason, the most thing I have are these little snails. I think because these were in the parade when I was a little girl. You know, when I remember the Main Street Electrical Parade from when my family would go to Disneyland, which was not very often. You know, we lived in Hawaii, and my parents had a bunch of kids, and, you know, it's expensive going to theme parks. And but every few years we would get to go. My aunt and uncle lived in California for a while. That's the same one as that. I wish I could do that. I guess I could just cut her off and put, you know, put that up there. But my aunt and uncle lived in California for a while, and we visited them, and we would go to Disneyland, like, you know, for the day. None of this going for a week and making 17 volumes of scrapbook business. Okay, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to leave a little border, like a 1/4 inch-ish border around. I think I'm going to trim this. Well, I kind of like it overlapping too. I don't hate it overlapping, so I'm not going to trim him down. And this one will be centered. I'm liking kind of the feel of this, these little mini layouts. This one, I'm just going to stick this on because I do think I'm going to use the front and back of these little photo placement cards, these little mats. I'm really tempted to do that. I think I will. Nobody's going to know. Well, it might be noticeable. Michelle will probably notice it. Actually, Michelle will probably watch this video and then she'll know for sure. But he's all blurry. She's not. And I'm just going to put that right over the top. And I think your average scrapbook viewer is not really going to notice that that's a separate, I mean, they'll probably notice, but we're doing all these layers anyway, so what difference does it make? I could probably fit something up in that top corner, maybe those little ones up over here. This is, okay, I can do like a 2 1/4 by 1 1/4. Let's see how that looks. I can't fit both of these guys. And I don't really, I guess I'll just do this little guy. There, that's 1 1/4. Even though it's the same as this, and I might put this one down here somewhere too. Okay, that's kind of cute right there. Oh, you know, years ago, I had some Mrs. Grossman's music note stickers that were like holographic, kind of metal shimmery. Those would be so cute to sprinkle in here. I wonder if I can find them, or I could find my music notes border punch and punch my own. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, these two, I'll do it like this, just to make it not look exactly the same as that one. These are all kind of heavier on this side. Well, no, I guess they're not all heavier. Okay. So many videos ago, my tape thing got all messed up and I just took it out and put in a new one and promised you that I would come back and at some point show you how to fix that, and I haven't done it, but I have had to do it so many times for people that I've kind of become a master at it, and it's really not that hard. So can this little guy go up there? I really like, it's just tiny and cute and I like it. So yeah, remind me if that's something you're having a need for. Basically, I just took apart the, you know, my backup and compared it, and, you know, unspooled things, and it is a little annoying. But I've heard from people that that buy other brands of adhesive in this same style that they have the same problem. So on that note, yes, they do sell a tape runner very similar to this on Amazon, and it is considerably less expensive. But Creative Memories has assured us that our adhesive is proprietary. So you can, if you buy the red case on Amazon, you're not getting the same tape. It's the same general idea, but it's not the same tape. So do with that what you will. And I don't think they sell the repositionable anyway. So for all of you people who have completely switched over to repo. All right. Getting to the end of my, no, maybe not. Maybe I'm just getting jammed up because I talked about it. Oh, yep, I'm getting jammed up. So this means I can do this right now. I am going to do a full video of it, but I'll just real quick show you what you have to, oh yeah, see, I'm tangled up in here. See that? So what I'm gonna do, open this up, which is a little harder than I always think it's going to be. Yeah, I've wrapped, oh, I've got tangled all up inside here. And then I'm going to, let me zoom down. All right. I'm going to take this piece out. I'm going to gently lift this up and lift this off all the way. Okay. What the heck has happened here? It's gotten all wrapped around in the bottom. It's doubled back on itself. Yeah, okay, so it's all doubled back on itself, which is not what I wanted. And then I'm going to take this piece comes off, and then this little inside piece I want to keep. I might have zoomed in too far, sorry. I think I was showing you other parts and I didn't. Okay, so I'm cutting that off. This whole refuse section, we're just going to throw away all the parts that are crumpled up. And then this one, I'm going to unroll it all the way back till the end where it is sticky. Okay, so right here, there's tape on it at the base. I'm going to just cut that off. And just to be safe, I'm gonna open up a new one of these just to have it to look at. I'm gonna zoom back out. Sorry. We'll zoom back out. I'll be right back. All right, and I still have that old broken one, so I can do a full video of this later to show you how to fix it. So, but I need to like look at this so that I have them in the right direction. So the adhesive comes off this way, and it goes on the bottom and wraps around, and then this piece comes around this way, and then it rolls the opposite direction off onto this. So I've got my little extra piece that's got the sticky in it, and I'm just going to line this up kind of inside on this part that's already sticky. Trying to do it so you guys can see it, but also so that I can do it. All right. Trying to make it as straight as I can. Okay, so now I've rolled it around, and it's going to go the opposite way. So this one is spooling counterclockwise, and this one needs to go clockwise. So I've pulled that out. I'm on that little plastic piece. I'm going to put the gear back in and kind of snap that in. And then again, gently lift this up and put this down and tighten it so that now I've got, again, my adhesive comes up on the bottom and then it goes over the top. It's kind of sticking there. And it will roll backwards into there. All right, so now let's try it and make sure that I am in. And I could tell that it wasn't working because it started like jamming up and just being hard to roll. And now it's rolling fine and hopefully just rolling back. And I think it's just that there's so much adhesive that when it starts getting in here, if it gets off by a little bit, it throws itself off. All right, that was an unexpected little lesson. But that's how real scrapbooking is, right? Okay, and I think I'm gonna end up having to use little photo mats in these too because my pictures are, sorry. Oh, I'm still zoomed out, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna have to use the little photo mats in here because otherwise I'm gonna have this wasted space. And I kind of like the little anthracite borders for that. Okay. So this is the part where I always wonder, do you guys want to watch me? This is going to be a longer video because I'm basically making all these mini layouts. I guess you can always fast forward. Some people have told me they like to just throw a video on when they get home and fast forward, watch, have it keep you company while you're decompressing. That's what I do. When I watch Megan or Sherry, I think who else does I watch? Chris Lynn. There's so many YouTubers out there. Sachi, I watch Sachi. I mean, I watch a lot of people, but those are kind of my main go-tos. Not to play favorites or anything like that. Okay, now I really want to do, I think I want to do, I want to do a Pete, an Elliot, sorry, his Elliot. Oh, that one. I think my husband took this picture because he's sitting up on the little terrace where there was a better, oh, but that one of the whole side view. He must have taken that one too because he got a better view of Elliot. Do I want two? But I also want Peter Pan, and I want Cinderella, and I want, I don't really care that much about the, that guy's creepy looking. Pinocchio, that's who that is. So maybe I'll do 4 of Elliot. This is barely 4 inches. I could put him up here, but I like the smoke one. I've got a couple of the smoke ones though. Okay, maybe I do this one, that one, and that one. Because this one I could do in a 3.5, I think. Yeah. It'll cut off a little bit of his foot, but actually maybe I can fit that this way to 3.5. Oh, yeah. Having to kind of fiddle this one to get it 3.5, but then I can just cut this back side off. So there's Elliot. Pete is the little boy. And then I'm going to cut this person's head. I don't think that's my head. I don't know where we are. I don't know where my husband was. He didn't want to sit down on the front with us. Sit on the floor on the, I do think we had a bench though. But he sat up at the top and he got a little different view. Okay, so maybe I want, I don't know. Maybe I'm talking too much. I got the little dancing mice, and so maybe I need the, this is a better picture. Maybe I do need the big, I'll put that one right there, and then this one right there. And then I could do, I don't care about these little dancing people all that much, but I could do Cinderella, and I could do Michelle and the little dancing mouse girl. Again, I can cut that person's phone off. Delightful. So this is a 2.5. I don't know if it was pulled by horses or not. I don't see any horses on here. At Disney World, I think that they put it in the horses, they use little white ponies to pull it. Maybe I'll make this one be the 4-inch. I guess that's the same thing I did on that other side though too, isn't it? 4-inch, 4-inch, and then I do want the other little mouse, little Gus. Him, he could be cute right there. Since there are no, oh, I could trim that off. I could put him on the side even. Okay. Oh, and I do like the little dancing girls. Maybe I can do her too. So remember when I very first started as a creative memories consultant with the old company, when we would teach the beginner class, we had people crop their photos before they started a layout because we didn't like care. There was no you know, we didn't really do much design. It was a, you know, we used to call it the strip and the triangle classes. And I'm glad that we, actually, I'm going to take this off. I'm glad that we are a little bit more, what the word, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. I'm glad that we are a little bit more design. Oh, she's waving in this one. Design oriented than we used to be. I think it makes our pages look nicer. Oh, waving. I'm going to cut both of these and see what I can do. Sorry, Alex, I just cut you off. Actually, there's two little guys right there. If I do this as a 2" by 3.5, although I'm cutting off her fairy wings. Anyway, now, you know, you guys have seen me learn the hard way. Don't cut your pictures until you know what you're going to do, because I've had some disasters. Not disasters, but some near misses. I do want to get her on here. I wonder if I can get little Susie. Actually, I don't know which one is which. When I was in Japan, I met one of the mice from Cinderella, and the Japanese cast member that was assisting her asked me, do you know her name? And I said, is it Perla? And she was so surprised that I knew her name, but I didn't know which one it was. So it could very well have been Susie, and I would have been, I'm going to cut that off. Whatever that is at the end that isn't horses, I don't think I need that. I would have been not as impressive had I guessed wrong. I could do that again right there. Actually, if I cut off that back side of her, of whichever one isn't the one I want. Okay. Kind of go like that. Maybe just overlap them a little bit. I kind of like how it changes the, I don't know, it makes all the layouts not look the same. All my little mini layouts not look the same. I don't think I have anything kind of random for this. I don't know how much I care about this Pinocchio one. I do want the, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to do the, don't care about the dancing people. That one's cute though. Maybe I put these guys right here. And then do this one down here and add a little bit more of the, maybe I put in the dancing people. Because in the next, I have the next page, which is the 6 and the horizontals, and then I'll do the last, I'll do a double page layout again at the end. All right, so I'm going to trim this off 1/2 inch. Okay, I'm going to trim it off a little bit more. Make it a 3 by 5 is, then it gives a 1/2 inch border all the way around, and that will just be fine down there. Okay, now I'm gonna, trim this guy to 3.5. There's my 3.5 inch line, right? 3.5 inch line is down here. 3.5. I don't really want too many people of other people in my, okay. All right, stick these down. It's running perfectly smoothly now. It was just kind of getting jammed up before. I kind of wish this guy was a smidge smaller. He would fit better, but too bad. I kind of would like to do more little Elliot the dragon pieces right here. Maybe I'll come back and add something in. I should have counted how many pictures I had to start with before I started putting this layout together, so I could tell people how many layouts. Okay, now we're gonna get the page, and again I want the opening to the back. I don't know that it really matters. Oh, I might come back and put some little musical notes on here. Actually, I wonder if I have any of those. Let me check before I start putting these away. Anybody else still have one of these? I can't bear to get rid of it. I don't often use it, but these were lovingly collected over so many years. But I did flip through it a little bit off camera so that you wouldn't have to see me go all the way through it. And if I had had the music notes, they would have been probably right here with these other music notes, because, you know, I'm a little bit organized, but I don't want these colors. So I decided that what I needed to do was pull out my Music Notes Border Maker cartridge and just some scraps of shimmer cardstock. And I'm just going to punch some of these, and I'm going to hopefully use my glue pen if I know where I put it, and just put a few little music notes. I wish we had the little treble clef too, but Main Street Electrical Parade, they're actually kind of big though. They might be bigger than I want. I don't know. Maybe I'll wait and do this later if I decide I need it. Actually, now that I think about it, now that I look at the timer and how long I've been working on this layout. Okay, so this guy goes to the front. Anyway, so I'm going to slide these in and be right back. Again. So if this were a different kind of a layout, I would have had all these pieces already pre-cut for you and just be able to go put them in. Instead, I'm going to just do basically the same thing with these, with the anthracite backgrounds, creating the little mini layouts on the 4x6 backgrounds. And so I'll just do that. I'll leave my timer running so I can tell you how long it takes, how long I'm gone. But I'm going to just kind of finish up these other little mini layouts. And I am really considering doing something there in the middle. But when we get to the last page where I put the outside stripe in, I will, I'll come back and we'll do that one together. All right, turn my light back off for a minute. So I was off camera for about 15.5 minutes, and I did these two other layouts, but I decided that I needed a little bit more color. So I've added in some shimmer paper. So just like on this side, there's just that. I think I may come back and put some other things with some color because I cropped down the photos. This one I couldn't decide between this photo and that photo, so I put them both on. And then this one too, I feel like this needs some color, but I could easily come back and just put, you know, like some little bars of color or something, and maybe the music notes. But I'm just gonna have to fiddle with that before I show you the final project. I don't necessarily love the way this is overlapping. You know, that this is all just pictures. There's no, on the Galaxy's Edge page, it was like paper, and I could, like there was a little bit more distinctiveness between the layouts. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. If I want to come back and put, you know, maybe a stripe of color along both of these borders, just to, this one could be the black, and then this could be the gold, and then maybe that could be purple or something like that. So I may do that just to keep it, you know, this side it won't be so bad because it covers up the bottom page. But I've never used these before. I'm not sure yet how I feel about it. But now we're going to get to the final page, which is the multi-pocket that we used to have with, you know, we've had for years with the previous company. And this one for sure, I want to put in that, the little fillers to fill in these spots. And I'm sorry, I know that the light gives you guys a glare, but I really need it. If I were 20 years younger, maybe I wouldn't have needed it. So I try to remember this. This is about, like, I think I usually put a 1/2 inch strip in this piece and a 3/4 inch strip in this piece. It's really not quite in there. It's more like a 7/8 of an inch, and this is probably a 1/2 inch side. So I want to use the same anthracite shimmer, and I'm going to do a 1/2 inch strip. And really, if I'm going to do the music notes, this would be the time to do it, because I don't want to have to pull this out and pull them back in. And then this one I want to do 7/8, which on the new trimmer is going to be so much easier. But right now, 8/8 is an inch, so 7/8 is 1. That's too wide because that's bigger than. Oh, it's a 0 centering. That's why I was going the wrong direction. I think it's 5/8 is what I want. Yeah, 5/8 of an inch. So 4/8 is a 1/2 an inch, which means 5/8 is the next 1/8 of an inch mark. But the new one has all those numbers written in 1/8, 1/16, 2, you know, I don't think it says 2/8. Anyway, whatever, 2/8 would be a quarter, but so nice. Okay, so are we going to do the music notes? I think I want to do the music notes. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our Border Maker housing, and I'm going to put my music notes. If I had stickers, that would be so much easier. I'm going to put my sticker notes, my stickers, my music notes cartridge. I don't know where my brain is going. And I'm just going to punch out a bunch of music notes, not using the housing because I don't need it. And this one's actually nice because since it's an edge punch, there's no extra confetti that comes with it. So just punch a few in a couple of different colors. One of the things I was noticing as I was putting those other little mini layouts together was how pretty the ground is during this parade. Like, it's all, like, they have lights and stuff, and the ground is all these various very pretty colors. So I'm trying to kind of get a variety of colors. I've got 2 purples. You can see I've, you know, punched several things out of here. I don't know if I want both purples. I really like this berry. That's kind of the pinker purple, but that could be just my personal preference for pink. So these are all, these are a lot the same colors that I used for that first Main Street Electrical Parade jersey, spirit jersey layout that I did at the beginning of this album. So weeks and weeks and weeks ago. Sometimes my shimmer paper gets kind of crumply, and so it's always nice to be able to punch little shapes from it. All right. Oh, I was saying, did I get all the colors? I didn't get the pink. That's the one I want the most. I could have done this with my, with the cartridge in, and then I would have had a nice border at the end, but I was lazy. And really, for most of these where I'm using scraps, you don't need the, you don't care about what the cartridge, I mean, you know, that wouldn't actually look terrible if I had to use that. So here's all my zillions of little guys. And now I need either my glue pen or my repo tape runner. I think maybe I'll just use the repo. Because that's right handy and I don't have to wait for it to dry. We'll see. I've never actually done this on this little slide-in strip, so it might not work. And that's too wide, darn it. So maybe this isn't even going to work at all, but we'll try it. Maybe I do need the glue pen, especially if I wanted to do it on both sides and not have it be sticky. Oh, I do wish this little piece would fit. I guess it almost fits. We'll make it fit. I like to have a variety of little musical notes. All right, so let me stick these down and not make you watch. I'll be right back. Okay, so this time I did not time myself. This was a little tedious. And if you're a musical, please forgive me because I know some of these are facing in the wrong direction. I am in fact musical and I think I started doing them right, but then I thought artistically it looked better if I alternated some of them. So, you know, don't try to play this on your, you know, pianoforte or whatever. But we're just gonna go ahead and put these in. I'm going to use my trusty X-Acto knife. Let's zoom down. And I'm just gonna come right here at the top and I'm gonna go ahead and cut through both because it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna stay within the seam. I'm not gonna cut all the way off the edge because I don't wanna leave a flap. I'm just gonna cut this and end it. So it just goes like right through here, okay? And I'm gonna do the same thing on this piece. Between the reinforced edges. Actually, I just slid my page and kept my X-Acto knife in the same spot, and that seemed to work pretty well. All right, so now we're gonna see if I can get this in. I might even need my multi-purpose tool. All right, so here's my multi-purpose tool. I'm just gonna make sure that I'm in between the two pieces. Oh, actually, I just kind of like rolled it in my fingers and that kind of opened it up to get in there. And then we're gonna just, actually, now I'm on the wrong side. I need to not have the little top strap just to get it started. Well, it seems to be working okay. Pull that out just a little bit. For some reason, having the multi-purpose tool in there, I think it just keeps it open and makes it a little bit easier. See, so that's really not that time consuming to stick that in, but then I'm gonna use this to just stick it all the way down in there. So now I've got this little border, it's all the way in there, it's just tucked in. I mean, you can see the little cut, come on. Oh, I touched my screen and now it thinks I wanted to focus on something else. There we go. You can see just the little cut right there. And right, you really don't notice it. This one I did a little bit better cutting closer to the top, and so it's even more invisible. So there's my side, and I forgot that the wider piece is on the inside border, and that's the one I could fit the little double musical notes, and I kind of wish I could have fit them on both, but I guess it doesn't matter which one goes where. Hopefully this one fits. There we go. Yeah, 5/8. And the nice thing about using the multi-purpose tool, because I did put, you know, these little decorations, those little music notes, stickers would have been so much easier if I had them. But they're not catching on the back. There we go. Just kind of have to get the rhythm, and then it just, haha, no pun intended. Just goes right in. And so I do think I'm going to want to do some more of these music notes on the other mini layouts, just to kind of tie everything together and pull in some more of these colors. So I have 5 more things I need to use, but I also now need to come up with something that when I do the back side, I'm going to need a last page. And so I kind of want to pull out maybe some of these that I thought I wasn't going to use. Oh, the pirate ship was supposed to be in there, and that one's supposed to be in there. I don't even know where those go. Yeah, Alex, I don't know. I don't think I need those. Oh, I was going to put that one in too. Darn it. Okay, let me do my mini layouts. Let me finish this, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do with the 2 outside pages, which is basically like a whole nother layout. But we will make it work. Okay, I'm done-ish. I still want to go back and put some colored pieces and enhance some of these others, but I need to get to the main layout, I guess. I mean, I've been working on this already for 2.5 hours. So if my pictures had been true 4x6 and I could have just slid them in, this would have been a super fast layout. Because my pictures were a different size and I chose to cut them down, it's not as fast as it could be. And I'm just seeing these 2 pink ones next to each other. I need to move them. Remember I told you that you want to have the opening to the back? Well, when I cut my slits at the top, I didn't pay attention to that. And so I had to put my opening to the front. I would rather have the opening for these on the front and this be at the top than had to switch this and do it upside down so that I could have the opening at the back. So it doesn't really matter. There's not like a rule. That's just my personal preference. And then of course these now compared to this are boring because I don't have any color or anything like that. But I will do that at some point. Probably before I film the intro. Oh, and I cut this out. This one too needs a little bit more color. I just stuck these pictures down and basically that's a little too boring for me. But I don't hate this, especially with the color. I think I'm going to put some stripes down here. I haven't figured that out yet. So but I need to get to the main, like the layout part of the layout, which feels a little crazy to think that I haven't already done the layout part of the layout. So basically what I'm going to do is now that I know which pictures I have left, I'm going to do my a beginning layout and an ending layout. And I'm going to add these, a couple more pictures. Oh, the pictures of us, the selfies of us. That's what can go. This is how we felt after the end of the parade. Because I didn't have these anywhere. So maybe I need to put one of these up here. Like this one shows the whole image, but this one is better. So I'll do that one, and then I'll do this. Me. I kind of like the photobomb progression, but maybe that's too silly. Maybe I don't need that. Maybe I'll just do the picture of me and then the picture of Katie with me, because she wasn't in most of the other pictures that Michelle was in. Which one of these is better? They're all not great because they're selfies in the dark. And I'm thinking that maybe what I want to do is to take the music notes punch and put that along the top of this, like punch it out of the anthracite and then put a another piece behind it and then fill it in with the little pieces. So that's kind of a fun technique. But now I'm into my, oh, I want a border, I want blah, blah, blah. Because I do kind of want a border. And wouldn't it be fun to do this anthracite paper, but put like this, I don't think that this, oh, this is the berry punch shimmer kind of behind it. Have that be my little border. Maybe I don't need that. I don't know that I need that. I think if I just punch and have the little border across the top. Oh, I do like the border. Maybe I don't want the berry punch. Maybe I want the gold shimmer. Maybe that's why I didn't like, oh yeah, I kind of like the gold shimmer. Okay, so I'm gonna do a gold shimmer border, and then I'm gonna punch the music notes and we're gonna fill in with extra little music notes. So let me get some gold shimmer. Okay. So I've got some gold shimmer, and of course I don't want to use the whole piece of gold shimmer. I just want enough to be a border, and I'm doing a double page, so I don't need it on the middle. I just want to do it around the outside edges. So I'm going to stack these and cut them, which is always a little bit scary. And I'm going to do a 1-inch C-shaped frame. So I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to put the edge of my housing along the edge of my paper and scooch up and make sure I cut through both. Okay, so that's 1 inch. Then I'm going to flip this over. And the shimmer paper is a lot thinner than regular cardstock too. So at the housing's at the edge of the paper to give me a 1 inch margin. And then I'll take both of these and put them on the 1 inch line. And then I can see right here where the line is, but it's like basically the edge of the housing still is at the top, and it comes all the way down to the bottom. I should cut this out. So then I have this paper I can use for something else. All right, so that's the outside edges of my little mat. But then I need to cut this and I have to be careful because I've messed this up many times before, where I need to cut. I want an 1/8 of an inch border. So the outside I only need to cut off that 1/8 of an inch, and the other side I need to cut off 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to do the 1/4 inch sized first, which is the edge of the mat right here. Or do I want a 1/4 inch border? I think I want an 1/8 of an inch border, which is almost hardly a border. Then I'm going to take this and turn it 90 degrees and cut right. I'm putting it right on the second line, not the first cutting line, but the second cutting line. And especially when I'm cutting a really skinny piece, I like to cut up toward the edge that I'm bracing it. So if you like to brace it down along the bottom edge, you would cut towards it. That way, if there is any shifting of your paper, it like shifts it into the straight edge rather than away from it. And because this is very thin paper, and this is also fairly thin paper, I'm going to use my mat. And I'm going to do the version where we put the adhesive on the base piece, and then we put the rest on. Let's just have a little dent in the corner, which I don't love. All right, I only need an 1/8 of an inch, so I've got plenty of room for my tape runner. And I think actually I'm going to line it up with this side when I go to stick it down. Not exactly sure which way is which. Nope, might be this way. Okay, I think it's that way. Guess we'll find out. So put this on the mat. Put this on here actually. Yeah, there's a 1/4 inch cut off that side. So then I'll put this at the 1/8 of an inch line. And this at the 1/8 of an inch line right there, making sure that this piece lines up. Yeah. It's a little, you know what, I think I'm going to, I don't want to tack this down. I wish I had some of that tape. I'm sure I've got some washi tape somewhere. Here is some, I don't even know. Panko burger. I don't think I bought this in Japan, but maybe I did. I'm gonna just tape down the corners so that this doesn't slide around, shift around while I'm trying to, apparently the adhesive is working well. So that this doesn't shift while I'm trying to position the other paper. And then we'll just peel this guy off. Maybe it might be a little tricky to get it off, but this is not. Okay, there we go. It wants to do its own thing, and I can't let it. I've got to make it. Of course, now I've hidden the 1/4 inch. Okay, that's wrong. I got it this way. I've hidden the 1/8 of an inch behind the tape. That looks about right. We'll just peel these little guys off and same for the other side. But because I did cover up, the tape covered up where the 1/8 of an inch measurement is, there's a chance it's not going to be exactly where I wanted it. So, but I got this edge lined up, I think. Yeah, it still feels like it moved a little bit, doesn't it? So it's a little bit wider at the bottom than the top, but that's okay. We'll just work around it for the other side. So we'll stick this down again. This time I'm not going to put my tape covering that 1/8 of an inch mark. Not because I'm going to use the 1/8 of an inch mark, but I did buy a bunch of washi tape, and I think I promised you guys like a shopping haul video, didn't I? Just haven't had time. I'm just so behind on everything. So I haven't forgotten, but I did finally unpack. So there's something. My husband is glad that I unpacked because my suitcase was in the living room. All right, now I'm going to take this piece and put it just up next to this piece. I think this looks like it goes that way. And then I'm going to line up. Oops, I was off the screen. Sorry about that. Rather than lining up with the grid on the mat, I'm going to line up with the actual piece right here and right up there. Because that way, when you put these together, see, that one looks skinnier though. I wonder what I did. Maybe this needs to just come up a hair. Maybe it wasn't. That's weird. Okay, I don't know what I've done. That wasn't it. I'll do it this way. See how that kind of came in? I think that the paper, no, I guess it looks all right. Well, now that I turn it, it looks okay. It just didn't look from the angle I was at. All right. Ugh. Except I just realized I wanted to punch the music notes in this first. Darn it. Okay. This This is a little bit of a pain because now my adhesive, well, I guess it doesn't matter if my adhesive shows through on the back. We're going to just peel this part off. I am making this harder than it needs to be. I know that I am. Okay, I should have done this part before I stuck it down, but I didn't, so I just, you know, made it work, a little workaround. And now I'm going to punch my thing, and I hope there's enough of a space that it's not going to go off the edge. I don't want to punch through the punch at this end. Oh, worked just right. And now, before I stick this down, again, save my little music notes, I'm going to come back with my repositionable. Some of my regular adhesive is going to show too, but I'm going to come back with my repo, and I'm just going to do that thing that I always hate. I had somebody at an event using so much adhesive, and it made my heart hurt. But now I'm going to do this, and that's going to keep, there's going to be sticky exposed behind all of these, so that if I want to come back and just put my little punched out pieces in, which is what I do want to do, it's already, I'm not going to use the gold, I think, because the border's gold. It's already sticky, and so they'll just stick down. All right, so let me do the two, let me do these two top pieces. Well, I guess I'll keep you for this. I feel like I've cut away a lot of times, but I still think, I'm afraid this is going to be a long video. I know you guys don't care, but like the YouTube algorithms maybe care. All right, yeah, it's a little tedious to watch me. So plus I'm gonna have to punch some more pieces to get all the colors I need. So let me do that. I'll punch the top of the other side and fill in all these little music notes, and then be right back. All right, done with that. Still have quite a few little confettis left. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the anthracite ones. I may not keep them. You guys know that I'm not organized enough to keep my scraps. I mean, I have all sorts of cute little boxes and bins, and I mean, I can get them organized, and the organizing part is fun, but then I don't remember that I have them when it's time to do another layout. So now we're gonna take, let's see, are we still on camera? Yeah. Just barely. Let's fix this a little bit. Everything is kind of moving around a little bit, I think. Oh, now I'm crooked. Okay, so this is going to go right here. This is going to go right here. And then this one, and this one will go right here, something like that. I'll cut this guy off, and then I'll do that. So this one I definitely want a matte, and I think I've used just a hair too much of this pink, so I'll have to pull out more pink, because I definitely want pink. Maybe I want purple, because Alex's purple shirt, he's the only one not wearing black. Way to stand out, Alex. I think I want to do a couple colors. Oh, maybe I want to do a whole rainbow of colors. That would be super obnoxious, and I love it. All right, so I've grabbed some more. I had to get some more papers because I used up what I had. I don't want to use the gold, and I did end up putting a couple little gold ones in here just to tie it all together. I want this to be my biggest outside one, and maybe I'll do the purple closest to us, berry punch. And then I'll do the green. And I want them to be different. Oh, I pulled a new green, but oh, no, I didn't. This is also a partially punched. Maybe I want that. Purple, blue, green and pink. Yes, it's a lot. Yes, I'm a lot. I want to do a 1/4 inch green, pink. I want to do something like that. So it's, you know, not all the same. So we'll do the, well, actually, maybe I'll measure. This is a 5 by 7. So if I do the first one, 5 1/2, no, 5 1/4. Oh boy, this is gonna be hard. 5 1/4. It's just easier for me to eyeball stuff, but 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. Oh, folding out the arm. 7 1/4. And I do think I might gut these out just to make them a little bit less obnoxious. So then the next one, I want a 1/4 inch mat. So that was 5 1/4. So I want this one to be 5 3/4. There goes the arm. 5 3/4 by 7 3/4. I hope. I didn't measure to see if this was exactly 5 by 7 though, did I? Oh, it's a little shy of 7 inches. And a little shy of 5 inches. Well, I can trim those ends off. Not too bad. Okay, so this will go on here. Give me that 1/4 inch. So then this one, I will do the green. Well, I guess I'll do this green. This doesn't matter. I'll do this one. So that was 5 3/4. So I'll do this 6 by 8. 6 by 8. And then I'll do this one at 6 1/2. By 8 1/2. Gosh, I hope this is in focus. My display screen is doing weird things, probably because I've been streaming so long from my phone to my laptop. But the little sun thing, like where you focus. I hope we're focused. I'm sorry if we're not. We haven't been focused all this time. Maybe we weren't. Okay, so then this is going to be the 6 by 8. It's going to be that big mat, and then our picture will go right here. But yeah, that's close enough, I think, to be centered. But now I'm going to cut out all, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stick these all down, and then I'm just going to cut it once, which is maybe not the best way, but it's the fastest way. So let's start with this one. Making sure that I'm just putting my adhesive on the outside edge. A 1/4 inch-ish mat. Again, outside edge. I maybe want to, like, instead of doing it in the middle, do it 2/3 of the way down or something. And then we'll put the green one, which will have a 1/8 of an inch mat. Yeah, it's a good thing I didn't have anything else to do today. Haha, says the girl who hasn't even started her taxes. But it's still March, right? So, and then this one. And then, now that these are all stuck together, just to keep this bulk from having to be in my scrapbook, we're going to do the 1 inch frame, which is not going to give us an inch here. That's okay. I hope that's okay. Actually, yeah, that gives me about a 1/4 inch there. All right, so there's the 1 inch to the end. I'm just going to go back and make sure that we cut all the way through. And then And this is mostly A, because my precious shimmer cardstock, and B, to reduce the bulk. This is already going to be a pretty thick layout because, of course, we're using all those pocket pages. And I didn't quite cut all the way through, and I didn't quite measure exactly because this is not. And I might not be able to stick the photo to the mat because I didn't leave enough of a border. So what we'll do is we'll put this mat on the layout, and then we'll put the picture on top of it. I guess I could even put the picture underneath it if I wanted to be bold and daring. I think I'm going to use my layout ruler just to make sure that I'm straight. I don't exactly know how far out I want it, but it's now, this is 6 inches wide, right? 6 by 8. So I want it to be about right here, which is right here at the 5 and 7 inch line. Put it right about there. Gives me a 1/2 inch in there. And then does this one need a little mat too? I think it does okay without a mat. I hope so, because seriously, this layout has taken me considerably longer than I thought it was going to. But did you see that stack of photos I started with? And usually I only put adhesive around the outside, but this time I put it in the middle just because we're floating on top of this mat. All right, there's my left-hand side. And then the right-hand side, I want this one at the top. I'm going to trim this guy down. Keep putting things away, and then it turns out I gotta trim this down to, looks like 3 1/4 by whatever that's going to take to cut that person's head off. Something. And then I kind of want to do something colorful down here on this left-hand piece where I cut that person off. Do it like that. Oh, I kind of like that, kind of staggered down like this. And then I'm going to need to journal about, I think this needs a little mat, and I have that piece that will fit. I'm going to put a little purple mat here, and I kind of want to just do a big pink rectangle behind these 2 pieces, or actually the blue might look cute. I'll just put this, like a little rectangle of this in the corner behind us. I think I will. So this is, let's see, 5 1/2. So I'm going to cut it at, 5, oh, that's 6. I'll cut it at 6 1/2. And then if I need to trim off a little piece, I can. This is the Azalea Shimmer, which is like my favorite of the shimmers. And it was one of the, it was one of the cardstock buffet colors, so it's retired. Kind of like that, but I wonder if I need now some other colors on this page, like something like that. Or I want this behind. Maybe I want that behind. Okay, I'm just kind of playing around. My brain's a little fried. And I need to figure out what I'm going to do about journaling. If I have it in me to go back and do all those, put all the music notes on. And I think I do, but I think it's luckily I always try to film a couple days ahead for situations just like this. I'm going to call it a day on this layout, and then I'm going to come back and finish up with the journaling, the music notes, and maybe a title. Although this I think can act as a title. So yeah, that will be all invisible to you because I will cut to that right now. I am back the next day. I slept on it, I walked away, and then I came back and finished everything up. So I'll show it to you. This is basically the base layout, which we're going to put all the intermediate pieces in between. I love how it turned out. No title, but this I hope acts as a title. And if someday I decide I need a title, I can come back and put it over here. Just journaled about how the parade came back for a few months in 2022. We lucked out with a PhotoPass photographer. Yes, there were tears, and it was magical and wonderful, and oh, how we loved it. So then when you look at this in the book, it's going to have this, oops, upside down, this layout. And you can see I did come back and add a few little, the leftovers from where I punched some pieces. So I put just a few things. I didn't really journal on these pages, but I did add in the, just a little extra punches of color. And I think that helps a lot. A lot more of these little music notes. This one. I did say I was going to put some strips down there, and then I didn't do that. But I'm quite pleased with how this turned out. Now, the trick is going to be putting it in the book and seeing exactly how it works. So I've pulled out my book. As you remember, I had to switch to volume 2. So here's the one we did with the cascading spacers. It's in the book, but we're going to put this one right here. And what I've been doing, and I hope I've told you this, I don't particularly like the pocket pages, but I love the flexibility of the pocket pages. But turns out if you just stick your finished pages behind the page protector, it acts like a pocket page because you can move these around as much as you need to. So I did split my book. It's a little harder when you got your little pieces. I did split my book just because it was getting thick, but because I haven't done a title page. So if I need to move things around, I can. All right, so then I'm going to put this in, but because they are the jeeped pages that go in the middle, we're going to have to take our album apart. So I'm just going to show you that's not hard. We're going to pop off the spine cover. And I actually often don't put the spine cover on until the end of my layout project because I don't want it to get creased. But if you're going to get a custom spine, which I am, it doesn't really matter. All right. Always, 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 always open and remove pages from the back. Never, never, never do it from the front. Unless, unless you're really have it figured out, it can happen. But if you leave the front assembled, then you will always, you'll always have the factory assembled version to go back to. All right, so we're going to remove these extra pages. And then we're going to put our other pages in. So here's the 3, 4. It's a little backwards because it goes 3, 4, 6, 5, but that's okay. 6. One of the things that I have not liked about the multi-pocket pages, and I haven't used this size before, is that if you try to use a bunch of these in a book together, they do this, right? They like to flop right here where it's, where the division is. And so by having these kind of staggered where the spaces are, it protects from some of that. This one will still kind of flop a little bit, but You know, you're not going to have a whole book that flops at the same spot. Now I'm going to put all my pages back on. You always just line up all the staples. You can use, of course, these pocket pages, or the 8.5 by 11, or the Happy Album. Sorry, the scrap journal pages will work to line up with the same staples as our 12 by 12 albums, which I think is fantastic. 8 by 8 do not, but all the others do. All right, so I've lined up all my staples again. Put my spine cover on so that I'm also still lining up the staples. And then the part where people always get stuck is right here. People want to put line everything up, but you want to put your back cover on open, and then tighten up these straps. All right, and just pull them tight. And this is where people are always like, I've done something wrong. Where's that brown stripe showing? And you haven't done anything wrong. As soon as you close this, it's going to flip around. And then when you open up your book, that spine cover is going to be hidden. And now we can go back to our layout. And, oops, I didn't go all the way. And then see how this is going to just be another Cascading Pages layout. And I maybe might want to put some little tabs on here, but I don't know that I need to. I'm so excited. So this, I'm counting this as a layout, but really, truly, it's multiple layouts. But it doesn't add that much. I think that this uses less, adds less bulk to your layout. And it gives you a lot more flexibility because you can decorate your whole page the way you want to. So I don't see myself doing a whole bunch of these. I see myself doing a lot of the Cascading Pages, but I don't see myself doing as many of the pocket pages. And I don't know. I don't know that I love this little inside gap too, but I think the regular pocket pages have those. So if I was using pocket pages, maybe this would not be as annoying to me, but I don't like the way the pocket pages are. I like the jeeping. So there we go. That is 38. Are we on layout 38? So I don't know how to take a picture of this and show you layout 38. I guess it's going to look like this. Oh, no, I want it to look like that. Layout 38, we're going to call it Main Street Electrical Parade. I should throw something in there about the pocket pages. Well, I can't fit that on my thing. So we'll call it Main Street Electrical Parade. And I hope that this, 3 hours of video plus another hour or so that I spent while I was on a Zoom crop this morning, wrapping things up and adding all these little embellishments. But, what this is, basically 5 layouts, I think that's not too terrible. And if my pictures had been 4x6, I'm going to say this at the beginning too. If my pictures had been 4x6, this would have been 1,000 times faster because I could have just put the pictures in and gone with it. But because my pictures were the wrong size, I had to then make the little photo mats, and then I ended up making the little layouts and trimming them and blah, blah. So your mileage may vary, but if anyone uses these, this is something I would love, love, love for you to share with me. So, maybe shoot a little video and send it to me on Facebook, or post it in my Nicole Scrapbook Friends Facebook group, or message me or some things. I would love to see what other people are doing with these Cascading Pocket Pages. All right. Thank you so much for watching. And hopefully I can edit this video down so it's not 3 hours on your end. But I really had fun with it. This particular Main Street Electrical Parade is one of the main things I was excited about being able to scrapbook in this album. And I'm so very glad that I was able to get all the, I didn't need all these pictures of Michelle looking at the parade, but I'm so glad I was able to put them in. And I just love the ability to do a layout with all the pictures of this kind of main event of our trip to Disneyland in May of 2022. So that's all for this week. I will see you next week on Thursday for another edition of Theme Park Thursday. Thanks a lot and happy scrapbooking.